Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Start your week off right. I'm Tauri J.
I am Lex Michael.
Lex Michael, what are you into this week?
So today I finished a book called War on Peace, The End of Diplomacy and the Decline of American Influence. It's by Ronan Farrow. It's winner of a Pulitzer Prize, came out in 2018, so it's super recent. Essentially, it's a book about America's foreign policy in the modern era and how we have shifted aggressively, especially super duper recently, away from diplomacy and more towards a military first approach. I don't want to spoil the book for you, but that may not be the best way to go for long-term sustainability.
Yeah.
It's almost certainly not the right way to go if we really want America to continue to be a super important, powerful player in the world. It's a really fascinating book. It's not super long. It's super readable. A lot of people, if you don't follow things like politics and who's setting what policies and why and how all of these pieces relate to each other, there can be a massive learning curve.
Yeah.
So I can understand that people would assume there'd be this massive barrier for entry. But I think Ronan Farrow does a pretty spectacular job of laying all of the different accounts out in such a way that makes it very accessible, even if you aren't super well versed in that world. It's a real good book, and Ronan Farrow is a hell of a writer. Journalist, obviously, like you probably know of his work even if you haven't read it. He was one of the journalists who was instrumental in investigating and helping take down Harvey Weinstein, for example.
Okay.
Has done so much great work. I would highly recommend checking out just about any piece he's written because they're always insanely well researched and super accessible. But I would definitely recommend this book. It's not going to make you feel awesome, most likely. But it's super enlightening, super readable, and it can give you an idea of where things are at the moment and where things might be headed if this is the approach we continue to commit ourselves to.
Gotcha.
It's a good book. And this is also stuff that I'm increasingly fascinated by, by which I mean over the past 5-6 years plus. I've become increasingly fascinated by politics because it is the most horrific, disgusting world conceivable, and these are the people who decide what the world is and what life is like for the rest of us. I feel like it bears examining. It's just that I totally get that if you are coming to that totally fresh and you don't know the names and you don't really know what any of the jobs are and you don't know how one office is supposed to check and or balance another office, it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
But like I've now said a couple of times, I feel like Ronan Farrow's book makes a lot of it accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like once you get into a flow, it's a book that you can get through pretty quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely recommend it. You got to know what's going on in the world, folks, because it's we got to do something. And then the first thing we should do is know things. And then once we know things, hopefully we do some things, because yikes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a great book. I recommend it.
Repeat the name.
It is called War on Peace, The End of Diplomacy and the Decline of American Influence.
Awesome. Okay. I am into not politics at the moment. I watched Netflix's original series Umbrella Academy, based on the graphic novel by Gerard Way.
How is that?
It's very good.
Okay.
I think that they found a way to do adaptation the right way. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the Umbrella Academy, not graphic novel, well, yeah, comics/graphic novels. Like, there's a lot, and there's a lot of high concept stuff. And they find a way of grounding it, but still staying true to the idea of the characters. And also, like, the character interactions and the acting, the storytelling, and also the way it's shot, the CG, all of it is done really well. And it it keeps you on your toes. Like there's a season-long mystery that you're trying to solve, and you like they lay the pieces, they put the groundwork in, and you can effectively solve it. So that's a good way of doing that mystery, but it's also a really fun ride.
All right.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it. Also, you got to support Gerard Way. My Chemical Romance, bruh. They were the greatest. They were the leaders of the broken, the beaten, and the damned.
I really never did get into My Chemical Romance, but I've heard Gerard Way talk at length about a whole bunch of different things he does, and he sounds like he's an interesting dude.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I don't know him, but I like him.
He's good people. He's also doing a lot of solo stuff now. So if you didn't get into My Chemical, you can also get into just Gerard Way.
I like to think of Gerard Way, even though it seems by all accounts he's very much not. I like to think of him as like a super over entitled diva brat.
Oh no!
And every time he throws a tantrum, and somebody's like, what can I do? He like shoves him to the ground, and it's like, I want things the Gerard way. And that's actually what everybody likes the least about him. They're like, we're so fine with him being just an overly demanding, entitled, shitty personality, because we deal with that all the time.
Right.
It's the pun. That's the offensive, but just hit me as much as you want, but don't do that.
I don't like that everyone hates puns as much as they do. Puns are the highest form of comedy.
I disagree.
You're allowed to disagree, but you're wrong.
I honestly think that when puns are funny, it's because it's about the basest level of humor possible. And that occasionally I will laugh at a pun, and that's why. It's just, it's so bad. It's just so, it's like I'm uncomfortable, it's so bad, and that makes me laugh.
Maybe that discomfort is the feeling of laughter and you're not used to it because of your dislike of puns. Like, if you just let yourself give into it, then that feeling of discomfort turns into just guttural, uncontrollable laughter from the effect that this high form of comedy will bring to your life. Puns are the greatest. Lex Michael rips table from the ground. You don't understand. Leave my pun babies alone. Anyways, guys, what are you into? Let us know on Twitter or Instagram at Missing Outcast. That's MISSINGOUTCAST. But also, you can hit us up individually. Lex, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael.
And I'm at Tauri J, TAURI JAY. Also, you can hit up the Missing Out Hotline 978 MISSOUT. My rhyme, my meter was off. All right, hold on, give me 1 second. 978 MISSOUT. Miss out. Okay, that's enough.
We'll just cut it together. It'll be great. Nobody will know.
It just plays straight through.
We're gonna do it all on a computer.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No. But yeah, guys, make sure to join us tomorrow. Our good friend Caprice Castano will be hanging out. She's gonna bring in the movie Ravenous. It is a 1999 feast, one could call it. It's a visual feast. Lex, do you get it? Is your visual feast? It's called Ravenous.
I got it. Nom, nom, nom.
Give in to the pun.
Maybe if I eat a bunch of human meat, I will be more pun oriented.
Perhaps that would be your superpower. So, if you are unfamiliar with the movie Ravenous, it's about cannibalism giving you superpowers. So, guys, check it out. It's really good. And catch us tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. So, until then, bye. You're missing out. You're missing out on human meat. You're missing out on the superpowers that come from eating meat of the human flesh variety. Do you want some human flesh? Ooh, yeah, you do. Make a stew out of stew.
All right. This show's over.
Get your drugs made from Doug.